Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hello, and welcome to my tarot card reading for the month of April 2013. And let's start immediately with what I call the entities, the card of the Orishas. And my first advice, if you know Spanish, then my advice is listen to the Spanish version because it's going to be very thorough. The English version, I'm doing my best to recall everything that I said in Spanish, but this is the English version. And what we should be expecting during the month of April is, look at Babalu. He's the one related with diseases, and Yemaya is the ruler of the ocean, and they are upside down. So what we are going to see is very simple. During the month of April, we're going to see we're going to hear about diseases that are spread by air or water. We're going to see diseases that could become an epidemic situation. We're talking about an epidemic. We have Ogun that is up in between, so it seems like he's working. Ogun is the one that is always trying to bring evolution and progress to the human race. So we could also see or say that we could see also new discoveries related with health. We could say that new medications, new cures might be found during the month of April. So just go and listen to it. But don't be surprised if we hear things related with water and diseases, air and water borne diseases, and things along that path. Okay, that's what we're talking about during the month of April 2013. Okay, here we have the astrological cards. We have the Fool representing Aquarius, Air, Uranus, and Scorpio. And here we have the Moon, Cancer, representing the Two of Cups. And before I start talking about these two cards, I have to remember that I said that Ogun represents progress. And then we have Uranus, especially Aquarius, and that's the planet of Aquarius, Uranus. Hence, we could say that creativity is going to be emphasized during the month of April. And because Aquarius is a planet, a sign that likes to work for humanity, even though he likes to be a free spirit, Aquarius is showing a type of energy that might propel the society or the whole planet into new discoveries related with health. And I'm saying it because of Babaluaye. And don't be surprised if we discover things related with water, things that we didn't know before, they might be discovered, or things related with water, but creativity is going to be emphasized during the month of April, because we have Uranus and we have Aquarius here. And that's the kind of thing that we are going to see. This free spirit, this individuality is going to be the main topic during the month of April. We have here Scorpio, and Scorpio likes to start pulling things out. So we could start talking about secrets that are going to be uncovered. We could say secrets related with the ocean that are going to be uncovered. New things are going to be uncovered because we have Uranus and Aquarius. But Uranus also brings rebellion. So don't be surprised if we start seeing more marches, more riots and things related with that aspect, because this energy of Uranus has to be expressed in some way somehow. And then I don't know if that would be a negative way of expressing it, but it's going to be riots and things like that, marches, protests, people protesting and things like that. In every aspect of our life. Moon and Cancer, Moon is the planet of Cancer, and we're going to start seeing that things related with loyalty, things related with being loyal are going to be emphasized, and we already talked about Uranus, rebellion. So don't be surprised if we start seeing more and more this kind of sentiment that is related with nationalism. It might emerge strongly during the month of April. That's a big chance because we have the Cancer with the word loyal embedded to it with Uranus. So don't be surprised if this kind of sentiment flourish during the month of April, talking about nationalism. Then the aspect of the moon, the moon is related with our unconscious, with those habits that we are not aware. So we have Scorpio that is digging, pulling things out. So don't be surprised that secrets are going to emerge during the month of April. Not only secrets, things that were hidden or hiding emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, things that we're hiding might emerge. But the idea that the moon is there is letting us know that our feelings, our emotions are going to be strongly attached to all these situations that we're going to start seeing during the month of April. Okay? We also have to keep in mind that Scorpio, the ruling planet is Pluto. And that means that during the month of April, there's going to be a tendency for people, nations, societies, institutions to be on the controlling side. So they will try to control things. The problem is that we have a Scorpio trying to dig out a lot of stuff. They are the lawyers of the zodiac, the psychologists. So we're going to start confronting our emotions. We're going to start dealing with a lot of emotions, but at the same time, a lot of things that we're hiding are going to emerge. Like I said before, this desire of controlling our emotions, our feelings, this desire of controlling the media, because this is air sign, Aquarius, air sign related with media, communication. So there is going to be a tendency to control media also. Control the media in order to control our emotions, our feelings, our perceptions. During the month of April is going to be emphasized. Okay? Here we have more tarot cards. We have Ace of Spades, Swords, and the Knight of Staff, representing Aries. And very quick, this is only representing confusion, restructure. There's going to be a lot of reorganization, which is going to bring a lot of confusion. So you just be aware during this month of April. We're talking about confusion. There's going to be a veil of mystery, and remember, Scorpio likes mystery and he likes to dig things. But the problem is that in the process, it creates a lot of confusion. Okay, so expect that, a lot of confusion here and a lot of restructuring. And remember, Saturn is in Scorpio, so a lot of restructuring in our mind, mental process, but it's bringing confusion, a lot of restructuring, a lot of confusion during the month of April. The horizontal line, which is the Hermit, and then we have the Four of Staff. What is letting us know is that during the month of April, nations, individuals, they're going to start looking for solutions. They're going to start looking for answers among all this confusion. They're going to look for alternatives, creative ways, Aquarius, Uranus, creative ways to deal with the problems that are emerging. Health-wise, politically, economically, there are going to be problems that they're going to try to solve actively, and that's where Ogun enters, because he's a hard worker. So he's going to try to work it out, try to bring progress and evolution and that's why we're going to start seeing a lot of restructuring during the month of April. And we all know when we are doing some restructuring, we never know what is going to happen. That creates confusion. And the problem is that when I put all this together, it is going to create a sentiment, a feeling of being on the defensive mode, individuals or nations, meaning that Greece is going to be on the defensive mode. Spain is going to be on the defensive mode. Nations are going to be on the defensive mode. You have to remember that we are in a situation, and this is what I said in the Spanish version. The problem is that we are a little bit confused, a little bit paranoid, on the defensive mode. We're searching for solutions, alternatives. We're doing restructuring here, restructuring there. Because the problem is that if we take the swords out of the boat sinks because the water gets in. But if we leave the swords in, then it's going to be a pain, an agony that we're going to be carry on for I don't know how long. So we are against the wall and against the sword. We are against the sword and the wall, like we say in Spanish. So it's going to be a very tough month. April is going to be a very tough month because a lot of decisions have to be made. Do I cut off the problem, or should I just treat it like a gangrene? Should I treat the gangrene, or should I just cut the whole thing off and just get over it? That's the kind of questions that we are going to be dealing with during the month of April. Okay, here we have what I call the trilogy, and the trilogy is letting us know the following. Here we have the two of staff. We have the Knight of Swords, and we have the Four of Staff. And very simple, what is letting us know is that there's going to be a tendency in the month of April that nations, people, they're going to leave behind everything they had once. They are tired of the same thing. They grew bored of it, and now they want to explore new things. So they're willing to leave behind those things that were not worth it, or once they were worth it, but now they just don't like it anymore, and they're willing to leave that behind. That is going to bring a lot of cheerful, a lot of cheerleaders, a lot of hoorays, and blah blah blah. And this card is letting us know there is going to be action that is going to be taken towards that direction. In other words, what I'm telling you is very simple. For example, we know what is going on in Greece. We know what is going on in Cyprus. We know what is going in the European Union. What the cards are saying is very simple. The sentiment, the feeling of separation is going to grow stronger during the month of April in the European Union. In United States, the tendencies are going to be similar but a little bit different. It doesn't mean that the states they want to separate from the Union, even though there is a tendency already running around. But the thing is that the United States is going to take action related with measures being political or economical, financial, budgetary speaking, where they're going to be a little bit more bold, and they're going to be creative, you know, not very creative, but they are trying to cut here, cut there, and they're going to leave behind other things to try other avenues, and is going to be cheerful. Some people obviously will be happy about it, others won't be, like everything else. And that's the kind of energy that these cards are talking about. When we look at these other two cards here, the Empress, which is related with fertility, stability, and then we have the sword of the Ace of Swords upside down. Don't be surprised if during the month of April, economically, financially speaking, it turns a little bit shaky, not that fertile as expected. Things are going to be a little bit confusing. shaky and confusing and not that productive as once expected. Expect that during the month of April, so expect surprises. Scorpio is digging out surprises. Okay, then we have here two kings. We have the King of Swords and the King of Staff, or Wands, and obviously two kings, two energies. I believe, if I'm not wrong, the King of Swords represents Aquarius, and then we have Aries. So we see a lot of restructuring, a lot of creativity, trying to find alternatives to the problems that we're facing. A lot of restructuring, a lot of restructuring, a lot of restructuring, a lot of thinking that we're going to. Remember, there's a lot of swords that we have so far. We have 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 swords. There's a lot of mental process going on during the month of April. Okay, these are the cards related with advice or warning, whichever way you want to see it. We have to remember that, like I said, there's going to be a confusion. People are going to be they're looking for alternative, different ways to deal with the problem that the humanity is facing. Be it genetically modified food, whatever it is, politically, the debt, economically, gay marriage, like in the United States, that is a big issue. We're dealing with this kind of stuff, and I mentioned riots and all that kind of stuff. So, wrapping up all this information, here is the advice. And the advice is very simple. We have the Two of Swords upside down, obviously, and we have the Hermit, and we have the story of Adam and Eve, where they were expelled from Eden. And this is very simple. Notice that the Hermit is giving the back to the Two of Swords, which is letting us know that if we want to overcome all this individual, this nationalistic, this kind of egotistic way of being, we have to overcome this. We have to go beyond frontiers. We have to understand that where my right starts, your rights ends, and vice versa. We have to really understand all this kind of stuff. We have to try really hard to overcome all this egocentric, egotistic, selfish feelings that might flourish during the month of April. Otherwise, what is going to happen is we're going to start hearing about wars, battles, conflicts, and all this kind of stuff that is related with the Two of Swords. And that's the warning or the advice for April 2013.